Hey guys, so I'm not much of a public speaker, so I decided to do a YouTube video to put out my ideas and what I think about politics this year. So, pretty much me speaking as a 20-year-old single mother and a part-time student, also most importantly a daughter of immigrants from El Salvador, and first-generation college student. I feel it's very important to vote this year, especially, in the U.S., knowing about our top two presidential candidates. Everyone knows about them. Now you've been living under a rock. And it is scary picturing either Hillary or Trump being our next president. And I just kind of want to give you more ideas on why you should vote and for who, pretty much, in my opinion, is pretty much. So, we can all agree that Obama has been the best president, for the last 8 years. He's been awesome. We wish we could keep him for another 4 years or forever, honestly. And, after the harsh years with President Bush from 2001 to 2009, I can remember how bad he was. And for example, as you see how much vacation time he has had, and compared to Obama, it's been a lot. I did this research, and I'll link the article in the description below. And but I read how much in the last few years Obama has taken an average about 200 days of vacation. Which, think about it, it's not as much, but it's less than a year. And he's done a good job for the last 8 years, even though, yes, some of the stuff that he's tried to do, his policies and laws that he's tried to change, they haven't been accepted in the Congress. So that's a different thing. And that's like any other president, I'm sure, will always have that problem, especially when the Congress is Republican and you're a Democratic president, or the other way around, because of beliefs and all that. So, anyway, President Obama, of course, he deserves his own vacation time because he has 2 girls who have grown up in the White House. And as any modern U.S. family, they even need to have family time. So when Sasha and Malia first walked into the White House, they were 7 and 10 years old in 2009. And now in 2016, they are 15 and 18-year-old. So, of course, that's the time that you need your parents the most, and Michelle and Barack Obama have done the best for them in their whole situation. Now, while George Bush's kids were already in college for most of their years in the White House, now, don't get me started on how America stressed poor Obama to death. You can see the before and after pictures. It's crazy. And, but just thinking of the scariest thing is the vacation time that President Bush, George W. Bush has done, he was gone for an average of 800 days. Now that's over 2 years spent at either Camp David or his ranch in Texas. No wonder almost nothing was done or fixed during his term. And why am I even talking about this? Is for you to get a picture of how Donald Trump can easily be taken off in his private jet to all those popular vacation sites for long periods of time with his wife and kids, because he's a businessman and he's really a celebrity, not a politician. He's never known how to run a state or other form of government. And he hasn't been a part of politics to 2015, so why are we still trusting and voting for this guy? And with the whole Billy Bush and Trump locker room scandal with the bus, I could only watch that video once as a woman, and I still don't understand how women are still voting for Trump after hearing and seeing how he is outside of the camera scene, you could say, behind the scenes. Yeah, I agree, it's a little weird having everyone come out and be like, oh, he did this and that, but still, it's terrible, no matter how you look at it. So, going back on who I would like to be president, other than the Barack or Michelle Obama, would probably be Vice President Joe Biden. Now, in the beginning, there was hope for Biden to run for the Democratic nominee as president, but his son had recently passed away at that time, and of course we can understand why he didn't run. But Now, before the two parties even chose the candidates, we all were hoping for Bernie Sanders, of course. As a young student, like me, I was definitely wishing Bernie was going to be president. And we all looked at him like the kind older grandpa, like our best buddy. And we could also remember that time in Portland, Oregon, in the past March, where a bird had landed on his podium during his speech. And he even said it was a sign for world peace. Like, he didn't say that, oh, it's a sign that I should be president. No, he's like, it's a sign for world peace. Like, that's amazing. And he just wanted peace and free college tuition for students in at least community college, in the United States. And he was very popular with millennials and 18-year-olds just graduating or applying at high school. So anyway, as I watched the states count the votes for who they supported as the 2016 Democratic nominee for president, I literally cried because they had decided in his state of Vermont to go last because everyone knew that Hillary had pretty much won, because as they were counting all the states were mostly votes for Hillary. And so as he went last, he stood up there and he's like, Vermont does vote for Bernie to be the nominee. But, however, we all could see that Hillary won, and it's okay, I support her, and that's pretty much how he went on about. And it's we strongly still don't trust her. We still don't have faith in her, and we still want Bernie to win, even though he's accepting that, she's our best candidate and our best person to vote for. And it's really hard to accept to this day, for real. And me as a Democrat, I feel like I have been a strong Democrat since I don't know, middle school, high school. Well, since I first started voting, you could say. And I've always voted Democrat. But I'll go on about how I'm changing parties because it sucks. Now, I can only touch on how racism has been a big subject in 2015 and this year. But now for me, it's always been an important issue because I know people who are undocumented or friends of families who have been split because of deportation. Now, from the beginning of this presidential race, we all know how deportation immigration, is a big idea because that's how Donald Trump started his race, about how he hates all Mexicans, including all Hispanics in his mind. He doesn't think about Central America and Brazil and Argentina and all these other countries. Now, and he also talks about how he hates Muslims and Arabics and the Middle Eastern people, and for fear for them to being terrorists and all that, how he should get rid of them and this and that. Now, I'm only going to go on about how, during the last debate, the town hall debate, the third one with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, when they were mentioned and talked about immigrants from the Middle East, Muslims coming to the U.S., they both were talking ill of them, talking bad about how it's wrong for them to come to the U.S., they shouldn't come to the U.S. easily. And I think that's really bad, because Muslim is a religion. We have good and bad people in every kind of religion, human race, anything. There's always going to be good and bad, the yin and yang, black and white. And it doesn't mean just because one group of people who are Muslim who are terrorists, that doesn't mean that all of them are terrorists. And I really urge y'all to support, not adding to the victimization of them, if you kind of get what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm getting my tongue tied. But now, all you can see in the media about is, the violence in rallies, in the past, of this past year, in Donald Trump rallies specifically, how, black people have gone in and tried to, protest to not vote Trump, or maybe even supported Trump, and they were punched in the face or kicked out. You could look online and see the videos. And it's just based on race and hate. That's all Donald Trump's thing and position is about hate, and it's not good. We should all be peaceful and just, I don't know. Now, remember the middle of August when Donald Trump had disrespected Univision's best news reporter in front of a whole press conference, and he would not let him ask questions about and calling him out of the room when Jorge Ramos was just wanting to ask a question. That was all he wanted to do. He wasn't doing anything wrong or disrespectful. He just wanted to ask him a question about Trump's big fantasy about building a wall and how Mexico's going to pay for it and this and that. And he still to this day has not gotten an interview with Donald Trump. Jorge Ramos, like, of course, he totally does not support Trump. No, most Hispanics don't support Trump. And it is embarrassing to those Hispanics who do. And let me just not get angry. That's why I'm doing this YouTube video sober. Like, I did want to do this, like, after the debate last week. But anyway, going on. So many people in the comments down here will say not to waste my vote on other parties, the third-party candidates, and how if we don't care about Trump, just vote Hillary, this and that. But I'm not going to vote Hillary because I don't trust her. And that's why I'm voting for the Green Party, for Jill Stein. She's a doctor, and she is also a woman, and I agree, it is time for a woman to be president. So, if, and I did see Gary Johnson's video on his third party and how he represented with Abraham Lincoln in the video and this and that. It was a really good video, but if you remember, like, 2 interviews that he's done, he hasn't given us the right information, or he didn't know about things going on in the Middle East, and I don't trust that in people. Like, everyone knows. I've been into politics because of my dad, because growing up, he'd listen to NPR, and we'd always just watch the news at night, even though it is depressing and sad, but not every night I watch it, but most of the time, or at least on the weekends. And, yeah, so little things like that you should know about, like big issues that are going on in the world. U.S. is about the world and immigrants coming together, so we should know about what is going on at all times everywhere, like in Honduras and all the poor kids and all the gangs and violence happening in Central America and drug wars, cartels, and all that. And and also, like, the pipeline, the Dakota pipeline, and how they are not putting that in the media as well, as much. Like Shailene Woodley, the Divergent actress, and Secret Life of an American Teenager actress, and the Fault in Our Stars actress, she is the only one that we've seen or heard about on, like, Facebook and whatnot, on how she is helping the Native Americans and defend their property, their land, where they're trying to dig up oil pipes and all that. And we should strongly fight for what we believe in and say out loud what we care about, and not leave it like, oh, the government's going to take care of it, or it doesn't matter, they know what they're doing. Sometimes they don't know what they're doing. That's why we are in democracy. We have to tell people what we feel and who we want to vote for and who we want to be president. That's why Jill Stein, she is everything about people, planet, and peace over profit. And we all know that Donald Trump has his money, and Hillary Clinton has all her money with all her people and higher ups giving money to their campaign. And the Green Party is not about money, but yet we still need to help and support them so that they could be known and move up in this race so that we can all vote for him. As a Virginian, I agree Tim Kaine as vice president. He is a really good choice. He's nice and he's bilingual. He speaks Spanish, so that's kind of cool. Just like Obama, he spoke Spanish during many of his debates and presentations and whatnot. And so, yes, it's okay if you want to vote for Hillary. I won't stop you if you're going to vote for Hillary. But I will stop you if you vote for Trump. So, don't Trump. That's all I'm saying. Don't support him at all. It's not the time. It's never going to be the time for a person like Trump. And, so, yeah, I'm just going to end this video. And hopefully you take a little bit out of what I say, and definitely vote for Dr. Jill Stein, who has a good head on her shoulders, knows what she's doing. Research it. I'll put the links down below so you could do your own research. And hopefully you can, on November 8th, vote green. So, thank you very much. Night.